We are live. Hello, everyone. Buckle up. It's about to lay podcast. I actually used my inhaler beforehand, too, like a responsible adult. I'm just going to take a dramatic sip of water, and then we will get started. Very dramatic. It is Saturday, September 12th, 2020, and you are listening to the Irrational Passions podcast. I am Alex O'Neill, your host for this evening, and joining me, as always, Mr. Scott Guthier.
Hello.
Mr. Tony Horvath.
Hello. I didn't think that was going to happen. I wasn't prepared for that.
And Mr. Brian Nabisha Jackson.
Oh, I can't. I'm sorry.
Sorry, everyone knows that that's me half the time, so... Oh, here, welcome to Irrational Passions, everyone. That's it. I don't know. I like that. It's good energy. It's going to be loosey-goosey, and we're going to have a good show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Irrational Passions podcast, video games podcast, live Saturday nights on YouTube, up on your podcast service of choice on Tuesdays. We're here to talk about video games, I think. Reassembled and oh so happy. Did y'all have a good week? Was it a weird week for y'all?
Honestly, I had a great week.
Yeah.
That week was fine.
Yeah. I feel there's weird... Did you get weird vibes, Nabishan? Was it a weird... I mean, I know you get, work being weird and terrible, but... I don't know. There was something weird this week. Some weird energy. Maybe not just in video games, just in general.
Yeah, you know what happened? I sucked up all the good energy.
Yeah, Tony rolled up.
Yeah.
He got it. He loaded it up into his Microsoft Flight Sim plane and then accidentally... crashed it in the Bermuda Triangle.
Left the Discord stream on for hours.
Yeah, the captain didn't know what to do. But we're gonna channel this weird energy into something beautiful, hopefully. Just a couple of quick things of housekeeping over on irrationalpatch.com. No posts necessarily up. If you had missed Nabish and I, we did a conversation about this generation's approach to exclusives. Over on IP Presents, Irrational Passions Presents is another audio feed you can find on Apple Podcasts or iTunes or whatever, and enjoy more Irrational Passions audio. And also some new viewpoints went up over on youtube.com/Irrational Passions. Viewpoints, if you've ever heard of a Giant Bomb Quick Look, they're very, very much in the same style. But we've been trying to do some kind of different ones. This week Mike and I sat down and we looked at the DLC for Control, AWE, and I think that's really good if you would, let's say, if you really liked Alan Wake, but you never played Control, and you wanted to kind of know what this DLC is doing, but also, if you're just a fan of Alan Wake that has maybe lapsed and want to kind of catch up. That's a good one to jump in. And then we did one for Avengers Endgame, not Endgame, but the Endgame of Avengers, and which was a different kind of approach. Obviously, that's a very single player. There's this whole story and thing. We jumped in kind of after all that's happened to show off what kind of the grind loop at the end of that game is, for anyone that's kind of curious what the legs of that look. Spoilers, you're gonna be doing a whole lot of the same thing over and over again, as it turns out.
I thought you would say spoilers, Captain America's alive. Yeah,
we actually do open with that. But it was one of those things of oh my god, Cap's back, who knew? So if you didn't know, now you know. But yeah, I mean, he's all over that game. So I did get to the part in the story where Cap comes back, though. I can reveal on this very podcast, maybe I will, how Captain America is still alive. But that's over on YouTube, irrationalpatch.com. For everything else, check it out. That's it. There was a bunch of news and stuff this week that we will get to as we get going here, but we will cover that as we go. Let's talk about video games. Who went last time? I think I went last.
I just want to point something out real fast.
Yeah, please. What you got?
Well, first of all, I didn't play anything new, so because I've been busy all week, so there's nothing I really.
I vote Nabishan goes first then.
All right, Nabishan went and now he's done. All right, what's new?
The only thing I wanted to point out is I had a new microphone and no one noticed. So there you go.
Damn, that's why there was microphone issues. What did you get?
Elgato Wave 3 or whatever.
Oh, the third wave thing. I've heard good things about it. It sounds good. Is this your first time using it, or have you used it on a stream at all? Okay.
I was trying to stream with it earlier, but I was having new mixer programs was pretty much installed when before I got it, and then when I got it, they automatically put in new ones in, so like everything was all mixed up and jangled. So
This microphone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That there's a slick piece of software for that mic though. That's pretty cool. So I hope it does you well. Sounds good. This is exciting. This is the first time you got a new mic was like episode 103 or something, I think. Or it was after that. You were using a headset mic for a while, and then you got the snowball. So 8 years later, we finally going strong.
That's about what happened with me too.
That's true. Scott, though,
I'm still have the old one.
Scott is rocking the mic that he's had since like episode 53 or something.
Yep.
And this is my third microphone, so well, fourth technically, but I don't count the first one. Well, congratulations, my Nobshin.
Yeah.
You didn't play any Sonic games? No Sonic games took you on a tour or anything?
No. I didn't have time.
Did you think about video games a lot this week?
No, mostly because of work, and also be getting a house like in probably before the end of October.
Ooh, are you getting with friends?
No. It's even before that. It's like as soon as October starts, we have to go there.
That's like 3 weeks from now, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I understand. Like buying a house or renting a house?
Renting. We went down to renting because we don't know what was going to happen like in next year or two, so we can't commit to a house.
Is super fair.
But yeah, basically because my friend Tony, he's moving out. His lease is going up, I should say, and like he needs a new place like now-ish. So
that's good.
We've been trying to move in together for a while, so it just
strike with the iron's hot. Now movie night's going to be so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
What is it with just you and living with Tony's, man? You can't get away from. Well, that's important. That's life stuff.
Hopefully, it's better than the last one.
Oh my god, disrespect. It's fine. You and Tony are the only people that are funny in our group chat. Scott and I are just there, just hanging out. We're having a good time though.
Yep.
Cool. Well, that's
I don't need that shit. But
yeah. We're not here to make jokes. We're here to record podcasts. Well, that's good. I'm glad. So real life week update, but no video games. I played some stuff. I feel like I'm positive. I have 3 games written down here, and it's like 4, but I'm sure I'm forgetting something. But I guess it doesn't matter that much. So I got a code for Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. I did not get that until pretty late into the whole situation, so I wasn't really able to play a lot of that. That came out on Tuesday. The re-release remastering of Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. I feel like they changed the Amalur logo, but maybe I'm wrong. I'd have to maybe hunt down a box from the original box from that just to see. I don't remember the infinity sign being in the A like it is, but again, maybe I'm wrong. But that's so for folks who don't know, Amalur was this weird Kurt Schilling funded project back in 2012, I think is when that originally 2011 maybe. And it was really cool. The idea was trying to combine kind of more character action style gameplay with a very, I would say, by the numbers high fantasy RPG. Like I would maybe even like World of Warcraft style, like going from region to region and cleaning up side quests and all that, with a little bit of Skyrim mixed in. And it was a very cool game. I think its combat really carried it a lot. It had also a very cool, I don't want to say like unique art style, a very like Fey dream induced art style. Everything was very plant like and vibrant and full of color. And the character models were a bit more cartoony. So this re-release of it is very, I would call it a bare bones remaster or re-release. It's 60 FPS, which is great, especially for this game, and it's a high resolution with some smoothing of all the sharps and jaggies and all that. But it does not look amazing. It looks pretty rough, all things considered still. So it did not get the love and treatment that some of like Destroy All Humans, which is another THQ Nordic. That's a full remake, but the menus haven't been changed. The menus are still not great. It still takes like 12 buttons to get into any equipment, which is too many. But the sheer enjoyment of that game on its own value is, I think, still there, still worth it. It's rough by today's standards, but load times are better. The frame rate's better. So I played through just the opening kind of hour of that game just to get my feet wet with it. But I will hopefully play more just to play more. I don't know. That's still a game I've never beaten because it's ungodly long, but it's certainly fun to play. So maybe I'll get further in it. I've been replaying the Sly Cooper games for no particular reason. This is just, welcome to Replayzilla population me. Sly 2 is a 10 out of 10. That's all I have to say about it. But I've not played Sly 4 a second time ever since it came out, which is like 2012 as well, 2013 maybe. So it's been a while since I played those games, so I'm excited to kind of go through. I finished 1 and 2. Just started 3. Gonna play 4 after that. And then the only other...
Why are you streaming, bro?
Just because it's kind of uncomfortable for me to set it all up. And it maybe it's just the peer pressure of feeling the need to have the webcam on. So if I have the webcam on, I can't sit back. I have to kind of be sitting up, and then long term I don't want to do it.
No, just deal with it off.
Yeah, I would certainly do it more if I could do that, so maybe I should just do it. But also a lot of this is I want something to play while I'm catching up on podcasts or listening to endless amounts of content, so that's what I'm doing off to the side. But next week Spelunky 2 comes out, so I will hopefully be streaming every week, at least for a little bit. But yeah, Sly Cooper, those games are great. It is thinking about the kind of ambition that went into the design of those games, and how little is reused, how little room is wasted in that game, the second one in particular, and how they almost in a Mario-like way introduce something vibrantly new constantly, in a really cool way. That's a special game. Not enough good words to describe Sly 2, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm excited to play through the third and then be upset about how they do Penelope in the fourth one. So, and then I played again. I swear to God, there was probably more on this list that I'm forgetting, but they probably don't matter. But I played more Avengers. I would say I got to a point in that game where it started to coalesce. Like more aspects of it started to fit into one another, at least on the character end of it. For me, that I really enjoyed. I got to Captain America, who is alive, and if you think that's a spoiler, I've got just unfortunate news for you. Nabashin, do you want to know how Captain America is still alive, or do you want to see it for yourself?
I don't care about the game at all. I don't care enough to even hear about it.
Okay, fair enough. Captain America is still alive. But it was cool, getting to that particular mission and how all that happens and how quickly all that happens, and there's kind of a lot going on that transitions without any load screens, and it's pretty impressive how all that goes down. I really liked all that, and it's one of those things where it's okay, Thor coming in the picture, this makes more sense. Captain America coming back, how it happens, this all makes sense. The way Iron Man steps up, things like that, is really cool. But as for the game hasn't evolved or changed in a major significant way since we talked about it last week, to say, oh yeah, this is a much better, fuller game. Each character has a different kit, and their skill trees and everything are cool, and so getting to Captain America is the last one you get to see, and getting to Thor as well, who I got to since last week. Is cool, and I like their moves, and I obviously need to play more of them to understand. But I still have yet to play that game with anyone else, and I don't know if it'll be better or worse. It might be one of those things where it's this just makes everything seem way less real or way more weird and janky. But we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. That the story in that game is really cool, and I'm very happy for it. I think MODOK is a really cool villain. How he comes into that story is really cool, and it's it's different than what you think. I still don't know. I haven't finished it. I think I have like 2 missions left. That's what Mike told me, but I don't know what they're setting up for afterwards. I imagine it's something to do with space, because these Avengers don't have anything to do with space. I imagine that's what's coming for them. So we shall see. But yeah, that's all I can remember playing from this week. So I imagine nothing else happened. Scotty, what about you, man? Video games. Scott wasn't.
Let's see. The only new thing I would say that I've played this week would be Among Us.
Oh yeah. Tony, did you check this out at all? I know you mentioned it to us last week.
He is the one who wrote me into it.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I have like 30 hours of Among Us. Yeah.
Nice. What do you guys think of it?
It's good.
Social deduction games are like my favorite shit to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it definitely scratches that particular itch. So
I think the reason that we didn't get it before is because we didn't have anybody else who was interested. It would just be me and Tony, and I think the game I don't think you're allowed to start the game with just 2 people.
Yeah,
no,
you can't. You have to have at least 5.
Yeah.
So it's super, super, super popular right now on the internet.
Yes. All the streamers are on it.
Everybody's playing this game. Like, it's always the top thing on Twitch, overtaking Just Chatting, which is kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, everybody who used to just be a Just Chatting streamer is now streaming this game.
Yeah.
Because it has no mechanics, so it's the great equalizer. Everybody can play.
Yep.
Also, it's $5 or free if you play on your phone. So.
Oh, you can play on your
phone.
It's fun.
It's a cool little. Yeah, it runs. I believe it's on the App Store and Google Play, and it's cross play as well. So. Even if you're playing on PC and you don't want to spend $5, you can just download an Android emulator.
Yeah,
it's for free. So. It's interesting. The game's like a couple years old, but only just recently blew up and got super popular.
Yeah.
And the developers were already making an Among Us 2, and now they just suddenly have a couple million more dollars to work with. You know? So they're trying to speed it out so that everybody can play that. Obviously, I think they also would prefer to release their game while the original is very popular.
Yes, for sure.
So, I think that it's good for them. The game is pretty good. I think that it is not the best social deduction game, but it's a very accessible one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's just deep enough as far as mechanics go that it's interesting to play for a while.
Well, the other thing is, it's not to mention that you get to sort of set the rules for the lobby so that as people get better, you can balance out the game accordingly.
Yeah, more modifiers and stuff.
Somewhat. It's like some of it is, let's say that everybody's extremely bad. Well, you can just play 1v10 with when one person's the imposter and watch the chaos ensue.
Yeah.
Or you can just go to the flip side of that and say, well, you know what? There's 3 imposters because everybody's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So
is it
on top of that, you can change how long the kill cooldown time is. You can change how long the deduction time and voting time is, player speed, all sorts of things.
Cool. I'm trying to think. Is it like do the imposters know who the other imposters are, like in a werewolf?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so it's like this, right? 10-player lobby is the max. That's like the suggested amount. So it's 8 crewmates and 2 imposters. The crewmates just know that they're crewmates. The imposters know that they're an imposter and who their teammate is. You can kind of see that at all times, but there's no way to directly chat with your friend. So as a crewmate, you're supposed to, in order to win, you either kill both of the imposters by voting them out, Town of Salem style, or everybody has a configurable number of tasks that are just random things. You may have to go to a console on the spaceship and swipe a membership card or something like that. Or you may have to go to the other side of the ship and do a Simon Says thing for 5 rounds.
That's cool.
once all players, including dead players, have finished all of their tasks, the crewmates win. But obviously, there are imposters who are trying to kill everybody, so that that's their win condition. Just everybody's dead. Or they can sabotage sections of the ship, which basically create emergency tasks for the players to deal with. And if they fail to fix it within a time period of like 30 to 50 seconds, based on what thing it is, then the imposters automatically win.
Cool.
So, it's a way to create urgency and move players around in case like players are stacking up. You can kind of mess with the lights. You can force them to go to 2 separate places to fix something. There are a lot of different ways that you can interact with that. But the idea is, basically it's 8v2, and you're trying to not die or kill everybody before they find out who you are.
Yeah. The classic. The most video
stuff.
game. Yeah.
It's a very easy to understand format.
Yeah. I think that's why games like that are so popular, especially in like board game genre and stuff.
For sure. And like there are only 2 buttons that you need, WASD and then your mouse to click. Either there's 2 buttons. There's the kill button, and which is also the interact button for everything, and then there is the sabotage button or the vent button, which you don't even have when you're a regular player. So and everything on the screen you just interact with, like you just pick up the card and swipe it. So if you're playing on your phone, you just do that. So
makes sense. Yeah,
it's cool. It's a simple little game. It's fun. I like social deduction games a lot. So.
Yeah,
it's a good time.
They're fun. I remember the first one that I ever played was the one that you guys showed me, which was a Dota 2 mod, I think, or a Warcraft 3 mod. Starcraft mod. That's right. It was a Mafia mod.
Oh yeah, one of those. I have played a lot of those games, so I'm pretty good at them.
Mm-hmm.
People like to kill me very quickly.
Fair.
Because I'll figure them out.
Yeah. Your primo target.
It's fun playing with people, and like the games get more interesting as people get better at it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get 10 people to play for a long time, or like in multiple sessions, it continues to be interesting after a couple rounds because people are getting better. They're figuring out new ways to lie, new ways to not be where they shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
and even one new player can make it a whole new game in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah, because then the new player can pull the "I'm a new player" card.
Yeah.
Or they can learn faster than they let on.
Yeah.
And trick you with that.
Yeah.
So.
And how each person interacts with them is always going to be different too. So.
For sure. Yeah. Oh, a big thing about it is during all of the rounds, I forgot to mention this. You're not allowed to talk to anybody at all throughout any of the rounds, except during a called meeting. So you can't be like walking next to someone and be like, "Hey, come with me." This person. You have to like figure that out non-verbally.
Got it. That's cool.
Yeah, that's a huge component of the game is that you can't talk to each other during it.
That's what I was thinking about. I'm like, how does this work if like you go into a room and kill someone? They're like, oh damn.
Yeah, obviously, if you're dead, like basically everybody just mutes up during the rounds.
Yeah.
And if you die, you don't talk at all for the rest of the game. Like there's like once you die, there's like a ghost chat that you can talk in.
Nice.
You can talk to other ghosts.
Ghost chat's where all the real ones is.
Yeah. They don't apparently because of the way it was designed for mobile, it's hard for the developers to add stuff like they have in Town of Salem, where there's like like a medium who can talk with the ghosts, or like they can do more special role things, and that's something that they plan to add for Among Us 2.
Cool.
But apparently, and making even a minor change to the game takes an incredible amount of work with the way that the original one was built for mobile. So we'll see how the second one looks as it comes out. I don't even know what the roadmap is on that. So.
Cool. Scott, did you play anything else this week?
I guess some more League, but other than those 2 games, that's kind of it.
Have you fully abandoned top lane or bottom lane?
You mean jungle?
I thought you had you played one of the lanes and you decided to go jungler.
Yeah, that was bottom lane.
No,
I had to go back.
They pulled you back in.
Yeah. The specifically that lane just kept losing on me too much. So apparently wherever I'm at, it's just a really, really bad lane to not have somebody good in, or somewhat competent in. Because it's a very sink or swim style lane for some reason.
Is
even though that's That's not how it works when I play it.
Yeah, fair.
It's like I'm doing pretty good most of the time.
Yeah, but I guess it's time to swim.
Yeah.
Always treading water, but never.
So, yeah, I switched back and I won like 6 games in a row.
Nice. It's where you were meant to be.
Which is telling to how far my MMR had dropped.
Yeah. Jungling's hard, man. I still don't understand it conceptually, so... I mean, I understand it conceptually. It's more the actual doing it that I wouldn't get. Alright, I was just curious if that had changed at all. Nothing else, though?
No, nothing new.
Tony!
Hey.
Video games, man.
Y'all like golf?
I've heard a thing or two about golf.
Yeah, I've been playing a bit of that. It's kind of nothing new, I think the game is just solid and it's still fun to play, so I've been playing it. Otherwise, it's been a lot of waiting for Among Us lobbies to fill up and trying to get people to play. Because that's always the hard part of those games is finding 10 people who are willing to sit down and play.
Yeah, totally.
Especially because a game like that, you have to actually be invested in it to figure shit out and keep track of things around you. Otherwise, you're just straight up useless.
Yeah. Just wasting up space.
Pretty much, which is fine for if some of the people are like that, but if the whole lobby is just fucking around, the game isn't really fun.
Yeah. No, I do.
So it's been a lot of that, and then Azure Lane.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Some boats.
Some boat ladies.
I'm grinding it out all week. It's actually a lot more fun to do the gameplay than I expected it to be.
Okay.
Because previous times that I played it, I was just all right, I collected. Now I'm done for a couple months. This time I'm actually interacting with the shit. And strangely enough, I've gotten an increased interest in actually learning about naval history because of this game.
Nice.
Some of these ships are pretty cool. I wonder what's going on with these ships.
Yeah.
So
have you learned anything cool?
Well, here's the reason why I actually ended up starting to do this. Somebody posted on the Azure Lane Reddit this 20-minute video that they had made explaining in detail the exact history of Pearl Harbor using the Azure Lane girls. It's a good video, actually. It's pretty good.
I'm sure it is. It's just funny.
Because every ship that was involved in Pearl Harbor on both sides is in the game, right? So they used all of the ships to kind of illustrate the entire history behind it. And I already, was aware of what was going on, but not very specifically what the events were, and the timeline and the more nuanced shit about that particular day. So I was watching that, and then I started looking at some of the ships that I used a lot in Azure Lane. I literally this morning I spent 3 hours reading Wikipedia articles about warships. It's pretty cool.
I spent an hour reading Wikipedia articles about the Arabian Peninsula this week. So I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah, I think some of the ones that I use a lot, the poster ship of the game is the USS Enterprise, which is one of the most decorated aircraft carriers in United States naval history, and is one of the most decorated aircraft carriers in the world.
Yeah.
So
it's a reason why Star Trek chose it.
Yeah, pretty much. So I was reading the Wikipedia article on the Enterprise and a couple of the other ships. And interestingly enough, today is the 3rd anniversary of Azure Lane for the Japan region.
Oh.
So there's this 24-hour stream going on that the developers are putting on where they're doing all these massive gameplay, upcoming event, new content stuff reveals. So all this new content is being gone over. So it's been an interesting day today, especially because all of this new stuff that's upcoming. And this is their big, it's their E3. Their equivalent of that kind of event for their game.
Sure, yeah.
And this Azure Lane is massive in Japan. So it's kind of it's interesting to see all of this new content for a game that kind of has a slow update schedule. They don't do big content updates very often. It's a lot of we're going to do this event. See you in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
So, it's cool to see all of this new stuff kind of right as I'm playing the game. So it's been a lot of ships.
Hell
this
yeah.
week.
A lot of ships, a lot of ladies. Sometimes one and the same. Cool. Any I was going to ask any change in PGA Tour 2K21 if that was like still equally as satisfying as it was, if it's less so now. Okay, good. Love it until you can't anymore, Tony. That's what I say.
That's right.
Anything else you've been playing?
What else did I play?
Parsec streams.
We did do those. You guys played well, Tony, you played Strikers for the first time, Super Mario Strikers.
Oh yeah, we played Super Mario Strikers,
Which is a cartoonishly ridiculous game.
I just like running around slapping people with my head, just knocking them over.
It had been a while since it sounded like all of us that had played that game, and we were all just laughing very hard.
I mean, I've never played that game either.
Oh, you hadn't? I swear we played it together at some point, but
Nope.
I'm just crazy. But
Maybe a tennis game.
maybe a tennis game. You definitely played it, right now, Shane?
Maybe a basketball game.
Yeah, it's like I remember it being like a fucking blood sport. So, that game is also brutally difficult if you want to play like the single player mode of that game. Absolutely, I don't think I've ever thrown a controller as much, which is a rare occurrence for me. But I remember two distinct. I broke one GameCube controller playing that game. It's the only GameCube controller I've ever broken.
You're just striking too hard.
Yeah, I mean, once Peach gets going, she just wants to punch people on that field, on the turf.
I also played some Mario Golf.
Yes, with a little bit of delay.
Yeah, that was an experience.
Yeah, very different than your PGA experience.
It was not necessarily a bad experience, but it was an experience.
Yeah. It was like it was when the game got stuck every time Navashin like took a shot.
What the hell was that?
And it just started looping Daisy going like yeah over and over and over again. That's when I think it became a bad experience.
Yeah,
Did anybody look that up to see if that was like a known thing with that game?
I just assumed that it probably was not an uncommon thing.
Yeah. Maybe it was like a bug with the emulation or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
That was hilarious.
You know what? It was not a feature.
Yeah, it was a feature. Never stop seeing that nice shot.
Nice shot.
Just between it was going from Strikers, which was like blood and violence to the extreme, to that which was broken and insane, and it felt like we were going crazy. It was very funny. It was I was having a good laugh during that. But yeah, that was fun. Anything else, Tony?
I was looking. I played a little bit of Slay the Spire earlier this week.
Nice.
It'd been a while since I played it, so I downloaded like a couple class mods off of the Steam Workshop, and was playing around with that. Game's still good. It's a good game to just boot up and play the daily challenge every once in a while.
Nice.
Get your run in, kind of Spelunky style.
Yeah, totally. I completely understand.
And there's one other game, I have to look it up because I don't remember what it's called, but I was watching a streamer play this game yesterday, and man, is it cool. It's like an indie Doom Eternal game. And it just oozes the same vibes.
Does it have Ion in the name?
I don't think so. Okay. No.
Ion.
Hold on, I will for a second. I'm going to look up the VOD so I can tell you the name. But man, it's such a cool game. It's kind of it really is very much like Doom Eternal, and the soundtrack is fantastic.
Cool.
So it was Ultra Kill.
Ultra Kill. It sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch because the streamer who I watch play those kind of games is like fantastic at shooters.
Mm-hmm.
So like he just goes to the settings, like turns off auto aim, and then this game has this mechanic on its pistol, which is the first gun you start with, where you can have it set so if you hit like the special action button for that gun, your character flips a coin up into the air, and if you're able to shoot the coin out of the air, it ricochets and does a ton of damage.
Nice.
And you can multiple of them, and then if you hit one of them, they'll ricochet into all the other coins, which will then jump around and do a bunch of damage. So it's very satisfying to watch someone who is good at shooting play that game.
Yeah, totally.
Also, I briefly played Spellbreak this week, which came out last week, I believe.
Yes. It came out last Thursday.
It's okay. I was pretty decent at it, and then someone told me to try playing it with a controller because the auto aim is just apparently super busted and like game unfair. Like that's how good it is.
Got it.
So I plugged in the controller, and it didn't work for me. And in trying to learn how to play on a controller, I destroyed my aim on mouse and keyboard. So like I went back to mouse and keyboard, and I just couldn't play anymore. So I just uninstalled it.
It ruined you.
I'm good.
Yeah, I've been meaning to check it out just because I like wizards and shit. So
Yeah, it's very vertical.
yeah,
That game.
I watched some streams of it, and I was like, well, this is way more up than I thought it would be.
Yeah, there's a lot of balancing how you are using, because you have one pool of mana that you use heavily to fly around, but also you have to have in order to attack. So you have to be very careful with how you spend your mana, and you get kind of good at how your movement works so that you have mana to actually do damage while you're moving around, because the most popular gauntlet right now is one that does intensely high damage, but only if you're on the ground can it hit you. So if you're able to fly, you're basically immortal to the best gauntlet in the game. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's a neat game. It's just not for me.
Sure, totally. Cool. If that's it, then let's move on to some news. Just imagine that the news and gaming music is regaling you right now. Imagine it's pouring over you like a summer breeze.
Can you give it to me right now?
News in gaming. I'll never have it again. It wasn't even close, dude.
It's all right. At least you gave it a shot. That's all
I did. I would, of course, for you, Tony, I'd always give it a shot. I pulled a couple of quick things that I just want to throw out there, and then some of the bigger stuff that maybe you guys will have a take on, maybe not. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I think there will be something for all of us here. Spelunky 2 is coming to PC on the September 29th. I said I'd let you guys know. This is me letting you all know. Comes out on Tuesday, September 15th for PS4, and then PC 2 weeks after that. So look out for it. Wish listed on Steam, whatever you got to do. The big news, a lot of big news this week. I'll do this one first because I feel like Scott and I will maybe have feelings on it. So they announced a new Zelda game.
What did you say, by the way?
Damn.
What? What? I don't know. I figured it's a Hyrule Warriors thing, so no one else will care. But they announced
probably not. But I mean, it depends on what they do with it.
Yeah, I'm optimistic about this.
Because what they did with Hyrule Warriors is they implemented a bunch of Zelda-esque elements, and not just skin over the top, but they added puzzle-like elements to those playthroughs, and that made Hyrule Warriors kind of fun.
Yeah.
Also, may I remind you that me and Scott were both the ones who have championed that game.
It's true. And I was the one that didn't play it, so. But I did play a little Fire Emblem Warriors earlier this year. That was like early days of quarantine. That was like, I don't even remember who I was in April, but that was, I dabbled with that as like a filler game. But they announced a new Zelda game coming out November 20th of this year. Announced this week, which is cool. It was cool that this kind of came out of nowhere. No one was really expecting this. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, which is set during the Calamity, the moments that Calamity Ganon attacked, 100 years before The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It is a prequel, set in that same world, set in that same Hyrule with those same characters, written by the Zelda team. The whole story is done by in-house by the Zelda team. This game is apparently closely made, much more closely, with the Zelda team than the original Hyrule Warriors, but it's the same director and producer, I think, from that game. There was a cool announcement trailer where they talked about like what they wanted to do with this, how they thought that this was a cool idea. It is in the same visual engine as Breath of the Wild, so it like one for one straight up looks like that game. You'll be able to play as Link, Zelda, and the 4 champions. So finally, I'll be able to play as my boy Rivali. And that's it. More information apparently going to be coming on this game September 29th. But it's coming out soon, November 20th, right around the corner. So I don't know. I think this game looks great. I think this is a really cool idea. obviously, it doesn't have to be something big and amazing because, you know, it is a Hyrule Warriors game, but I still have not played Hyrule Warriors 1 that is a canon Zelda story and a little bit more closely intimate with Zelda. I'm very excited about, though, because you guys obviously had nice things to say about that first one. So yeah, I don't know. I think this will be cool. Do you not think it'll be cool?
It's not that I don't think it'd be cool. I think it's more of like having Breath of the Wild like attached to it. It's not misleading, but more of like it's not the reason people like that game.
Sure.
So like and obviously it's like I think you could like kind of look at it immediately and know that like, hey, I'm not gonna be able to like
run around,
field on fire and then use my my paraglider, yeah. Thank you.
To fly around.
Yeah, stuff like that. So like, I mean, like the game could surprise you. Like they could have some weather effects and maybe you need to change some lightning or whatever.
It would probably be a nice surprise to people who are really into that story, though.
Yeah. I think more of that story, and maybe I think what a lot of people who didn't get a lot of that story, maybe what they wanted, because this is going to be kind of, I imagine this will be a little bit more of an active story than a passive one. So, I mean, I think it has to be because it's a different game. So I think, you know, it's all those same characters, the same voice actors, and trying to be true to that story. I like this, though, as a thing that kind of helps lead up to Breath of the Wild 2, because this can help lay the groundwork for maybe more information on those characters that we'll see more of, or maybe stuff that Breath of the Wild 2 is about. Like, I could totally see them putting in some little Easter eggs that hint to that. Seeing as that has to do with Ganon or Ganondorf or something like that, possibly.
Like I'm curious to like I'm assuming they want to like have a little bit more of a tale with this game, like what other characters they might even want to put into it, like as far as DLC or whatever, maybe even free updates. I don't know, but like I would assume they would want to put more characters in, and like maybe like I don't know, Twilight Princess Link, the wolf version of
the wolf Link. They already did that.
Yeah, I'm saying as a playable character.
Sure,
though.
Yeah,
because like he was in Breath of the Wild, so like he could be in there for whatever reason. I'm just saying like out of the box ways so like they could put more characters into it.
Yeah,
but, you know,
I would say
it's not like they have to be canon because like you know that's not what that game's even about. So you know,
I think this game will be more about that. I think it'll be more about like they are characters that like that first game. It was like fucking the Skull Kid, fuck it, dude, whatever. You know, Ganondorf from Twilight Princess, that specific version of Ganondorf. Why not? It didn't matter. You know, in this, I think maybe for DLC it won't matter as much, but I think the stuff that they want to put in there will be there. But I'm thinking 6 characters, right? I don't know how much is normal for a Dynasty Warriors game, but I guess starting with 6, which would be Zelda, Link, and the 4 champions. I imagine you'll also maybe get Impa when she was young, which I'm excited to just see a young Impa in that world too. Maybe the lab doctor lady from the other Impa's like cousin or whatever that is like one of the other major characters of Breath of the Wild. Maybe the King of Hyrule as a character. I don't know. That wouldn't make sense, but maybe they can make that make sense.
He'll turn into a boat.
Yeah, he just turns into a giant fucking boat. I don't know. I'm excited for this. This was a total surprise. I didn't expect anything like this, and anything more of the lore of that world, I'm here for. I'll just get to the bigger news. The Xbox Series S was unveiled. The XSS and the SXS, whatever, you know. It was unveiled this week by leaking on like Sunday, and then Microsoft just announced it, and then they fully have now announced the Xbox Series X and S date and price. They're both coming out on November 10th at $299 and $499 respectively. So I mean, like, you know, the Series S, the Lockhart, codename Lockhart, was not announced up until this week. Somehow, still completely unknown, although highly suspected. I was in the camp of the folks that thought this was no longer happening, or at the very least thinking that this wasn't happening this year. That they would just put out the big box this year and then put out the little box maybe next year. But now that it's kind of been laid out, and props to Microsoft's PR team for quickly turning this around. I would say turning the messaging on this around, because it was a lot of, well, boy, they should just say something, to they've said something, they said everything, we know everything, and this is good. So the Xbox Series, the new Gen 9 Xbox console will come in two forms. $299 discless Lite, I guess, version. The Xbox Series S does not have a disk drive, has a 512 gigabyte hard drive instead of a terabyte, and has some specifications that essentially lead it to be optimized performance at a lower resolution of the Xbox Series X, which is $499, that has the 4K Blu-ray drive, that has all the things that you would want, that is the quote-unquote most powerful video game console ever made, et cetera, et cetera, that is built to run in native 4K, and the Series S is built to run in native 1440p or 1080p. But what's cool about the two consoles that I wasn't expecting, we've been talking about this for a while, obviously Xbox used to be a big topic on this show almost every week. But a lot of what I thought, and I think maybe an option what you thought as well, was like it was going to be like an Xbox One X, like that. And I'd even posed that theory that that's just going to be the weaker console that they'll sell. This is instead, I would say, still a pretty next gen console internally, and is going to run things better, that look better and run better and play better and have those faster load times and have those higher resolutions and frame rates, or higher fidelity and frame rate. It is just built to not run at a native 4K frame rate, which is really smart and really clever. And seeing the specs kind of side by side laid out, obviously there are differences that will probably become more and more significant as the generation goes on, but they're a lot more minor than I thought. Just the big thing that a lot of people bring up are, this is an all-digital console with a 512 gigabyte SSD, and that's not a lot for current-gen video games, which is fair. But do any of you guys have any thoughts, feelings about this? I think it's cool. I seen it all come together, seeing that this is going to be a thing. It's really happening. They're putting out two boxes. They're different boxes. People, I'm sure, will be confused, but they'll get over it. I think it's cool. I think the way they're doing it is different than I thought they would do it, and it's smart. It's cool. $299 is a hard price to beat for next gen. How did you feel about an option? We talked a little bit about it, but I feel like I didn't get your full feelings on it.
I think it's obviously a good option and a great thing. Like for it's specifically for a type of person who just pretty much just wants the new thing, and like, just like wants to get the one game of the year, type of thing, and just like want to feel like they're a part of like the conversation as far as like having the new experience with the new setup, and like having the 120 hertz frame rates and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like but not being like like a total downgrade, I would say. And I think that's a smart option, like for your Madden players, for your 2K players, like,
Call of Duty players.
Yeah, that's all they need. And like, considering how big those games are, like that'll probably be like all you will really need for that system, regardless anyway, because that's all you really fit on there. Because like I think Call of Duty is still like 100 gigs, but like I think hopefully I think they said they'll readjust for next generation, but like we haven't seen so much of that yet.
Yeah.
But like I don't really see much of a negative to it per se. No. Like there were like some thoughts of like like just like trying to play devil advocate and like try to make this conversation more interesting, like question I was going to ask you, but like I can't really like think of it right now at the moment. Like what's really bad about it, honestly.
The thing that I'll say that is about, and it's the same, because I had this thought recently, because I was like, man, if I could save $100 getting that PlayStation 5 digital version, I will do it. And I'm still going back and forth, and I haven't decided yet, but we don't even know the price of that fucking thing yet. We'll get to that in a second. But thinking about that, of like, okay, I want to get a PS5 all digital, I can't play PS4 games on it because it doesn't have a disc drive. I would say the same thing for the Series S. It is obviously fully backwards compatible, but that's a thing where you have to buy all those games digitally if you don't already own them digitally. which is a drawback. It's not. I feel like you're getting a little bit more in the weeds. Like if this is like, maybe if someone who had a PS4 that is like going to get into the next gen on the other end of things and is like fully down to like try out Game Pass and stuff, this will probably be fine. But it's just a thing that I think about because I have a bunch of these old ass fucking games, and Xbox One games, Xbox 360 games. They still have to be inserted into the disk drive. And then it downloads the Series S version or Series X version of it to run it.
I mean, like, if you really like want to like get into it, as far as like certain things, it's like if you are like a person now who's just like, hey, I just want to get an Xbox now this week because they have Game Pass. It's really cool. I want to try getting this ecosystem, even though I had a PlayStation for like all these years and like all my stuff is there. But like, I see a deal and I want this. I think it's good. Like, kind of like my, not really an issue, but like the downside I see of it, it's like they like pretty much like you're pretty much forced into this box.
Yeah.
As far as like you're either getting the big end or the low end, because you can't get an Xbox One, you can't get an Xbox One X anymore. Apparently, I don't even think you can. I don't know, but like, because I know they delisted them, but I don't know if you can walk into a Target right now and just like buy yourself an Xbox One anymore. Like I don't know.
You can buy an Xbox One S, but the S all digital and the X have both been discontinued. But they still have stock of the X for a while, I think, from what I understand. But the SAD, the all digital edition, I think that's going to be honestly the hardest one to find right now. But you texted me. We talked a little bit about it just throughout the week of like when you had said they should have put out the 1S all digital at $100, cut your losses and just do it. This really feels like that. Like they were kind of testing out what that would look like, and then they got there with this $299 out the gate for a console that will run high fidelity. It will run Assassin's Creed Valhalla in the way that it would look on Series X, just at a lower resolution, et cetera, et cetera. Like that's very good. And like you said, if you're getting like the 60 FPS, 120 FPS benefits and stuff like that of those games, then that's still a huge benefit. Just now we have to wait and see what the PlayStation looks like. But also on top of this, just real quick, they announced and have apparently more aggressive plans for a financing plan, a 24-month financing plan for both of these consoles, which phones have been doing for a hot minute. Take it from me. So the S, and this would come with 2 years. So across that whole 24-month payment plan, 2 years of Game Pass Ultimate. So for $25 a month for 2 years, you get the S with Game Pass, Xbox Live Gold, now EA Play included in Game Pass, and et cetera, and then $35 a month for 2 years for the X, which is great. I don't know. I assume that there is a hard credit check and many other things that come with that are standard for other financing plans, for carriers and phones and whatnot, which will certainly make this a more difficult thing to get, but the leniency of that is kind of dependent on Microsoft and how they want to go with it. But that's a really, really great option, so much so that I think I'm heavily considering that for the X, so that way you don't have to kind of shell out $500 up front. So, but what were you going to say now, Mishin?
I kind of forgot, honestly. Oh no, never mind. I kind of remember. Just for like a thought experiment and like what you're thinking about it, like so what's your aspect now as far as like PlayStation right now, as far as like what would you say to like combat this, as far as like either this marketing speak or whatever, but like how would you think they would go about it, about like not really like reacting to it, but like more of like what's your counteracting your counter to this, like if I were to like, I guess like to say one, like you could say like we have like our PlayStation 5, we have our PlayStation 5 digital edition, and like we don't compromise for our vision, I guess, or we don't compromise for next gen. Like we're only like this, like like you're not gonna like have like different experiences. You're gonna have the same experience with our console. So like maybe that's a good selling point for them.
I honestly, I think it's just you double down on what you got. You just double down on the fact that you have the games that everybody wants to play. Like this is still the only place you're gonna play Spider-Man 2. It's the only place you're going to play. You know, it's the place you'll play Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 first. It's the place that you will, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Like, they have their bullet point list. And to be fair, that's all they need right now, right? Like we have to assume, like, I saw a lot of, you know, articles on either side of this. One very scathingly anti-Xbox article that was just like, doesn't matter, this is stupid. It's going to confuse consumers. People walk in and not knowing what the fuck they're supposed to buy. But a lot of the kind of base of that is that retailers are going to still be selling the Xbox One S, SAD, X, Series S, and X all at the same time, which is just not the case. And I would bet that Microsoft makes sure that there are no 1Xs at all in retailers by the time November 10th rolls around, just to limit confusion. They just order them all back for their internal stores, which has happened before, and I wouldn't be surprised by. And it's something they kind of implied that they would already do. So I don't know. I there's a lot of different ways you can take it, but you know, the idea, it is a different conversation, right? Like, you're not getting Halo or anything with this day one or anything now, but you can say, like, hey, for $35 a month, you can get access to over 150 games and have that for 2 years. So, like, that is so absurdly cartoonish to, like, even thinking back to, you know, our childhood, like me growing up with a Super Nintendo or N64 or PS1, like, the idea of getting one game every Christmas was one thing, but getting this idea of getting an Xbox, like, at a monthly cost, certainly, but you get it, you open it, and you have just infinite possibilities available to you on that day. Like, anyone kind of coming in cold to this is going to have a phenomenal time, I think. And anyone that is like like us, that has been playing games and doesn't have that, like, library kind of, like, acclimation that or is acclimated to the library at play, like, we also shouldn't necessarily be buying consoles on day one anyway if there's no games for it. So, you know, it's one of those things that if you are damned if you do, and you have to buy this console either to be part of the conversation or to cover it or whatever excuse you want to make, I still think the value proposition is unreal. And I just, until we know what value you are getting in at day one for PlayStation 5, it is still going to be better on Xbox. I mean, it's still going to be better on Xbox no matter what. So,
yeah.
You know, again, they keep touting, like, a launch lineup of thousands of literally all games because they're just going to be playable on this from day one. It's crazy. It is not a thing that pays off on day one. It's a thing that pays off 3 years from now, I think, and that's what Microsoft's banking on. So
yeah, because it's kind of like that thing where it's like where a game, like a new game that just comes out and it's like $40 instead of $60. You kind of like double take, it's like, what's wrong with it type of thing, or that's the perception that most people have, or some people have, I should say. As far as, like, you know, if you're not educated enough and you see Ratchet Clank for $40 instead of like a $60 game, like, oh, is it a budget game or something like that? And it's like, no, it's like, it's a full-fledged game, it has all these features, like, you're not missing out on anything.
We're just trying to tell you that you don't have to pay $60 for this. You know?
Yeah, so and that's kind of what I feel like Microsoft is doing right now with the Xbox. Like, it's just like, hey, we're trying to give you value, and we want you in our ecosystem. And, like, sure, you'll have to subscribe to our thing to, like, even, like, get the full, like, the understand the full value of it. But like you'll get your money's worth, like, if you're for this.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I'm really just curious as far as, like, not the us, Carl, not the enthusiasts, but, like, as far as, like, the Damians or the Katies in the world, as far as, like, how Game Pass is talking to you, as far as, like, you're a person who plays video games, you're a person who enjoys video games, you'll play The Last of Us, you'll play Halo, but, like, do you even really are they reaching out to you enough to, like, let you know, hey, you can play Halo for free on our system, type of thing? You know, like, I'm honestly curious about that.
Yeah, that's a totally good point. And, like, come March or whatever, or next fall maybe, when Halo comes out, like, I want every ad to be, like, free with Game Pass, or you'll just have this when you buy an Xbox. You need to convey that to everyone.
100%.
that you're just gonna get this, because every Xbox is gonna come with at least a month of Game Pass. I feel like I saw something of like, if you buy Series S or Series X brand new, like at full cost, you're gonna get a year of Game Pass with it. But I can't confirm that.
Yeah, because it's like one of those things, like when you buy something new and like like when something's like immediately like trying to like sell you on something else when you just bought the thing. It's like, no, I just bought this thing. I just want to play the thing that I got, and that's it. And like, I don't know, that's the mentality for most people or something, but like I'm just curious.
That's a really good. I should ask Damien about it and see if like he has any. If I told him like, hey, you could get the next gen Xbox for $299, like how that would sit with him. Because I tell him about Game Pass all the time. I'm like, listen, dude, you just play the same wrestling game every goddamn day, every day of your life, and you hate it. So, like, you could just have a library of this. And he's like, that's fine. But he has my old TV. He has a 4K TV now, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like,
maybe he'll want that good.
I mean, it's like one of those things when you have too many options, like, do you really even want to like even like go for it type of thing? Like when you have something like HBO Max, where I had a trial for, and I could watch literally anything, but all I really wanted to do was watch Looney Tunes, and that's all my subscription was, and that was it.
All right,
and
listen,
I watched all of it, and I was done.
You are amongst friends here.
I'm just saying that's a weird example for like just to do the one thing, and then like that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
don't know. Maybe that's human nature. I don't fucking know. I'm just saying I'm just keeping the conversation, that's all.
Yeah, but like, for us, right, like talking about it here, the thing that gets me excited here, obviously the Series S I don't think appeals to any of us on virtually any level.
Right.
Like Nabishin, you and I have gone out of our ways to ruin ourselves with 4K. Tony, Scott, you guys both play on PC, so you're just gonna, if you wanted to, you just get a month of Game Pass or whatever and have access to all this shit anyway. So like, no, I don't PC Game Pass. And all the Microsoft games would be there anyway. So I don't think this necessarily speaks to us, but like you said, this is making this next generation way more accessible out the gate to more players. And like if you think about like video games as like and how Microsoft wants to, as just like a kind of ever evolving pool and ecosystem, right? Like every Series S and stuff that's out there for those next gen games in the days of next year, which I guess is yesteryear, but next year, like all games are gonna be cross play. So like we're just talking about more players kind of in the pool of things and opening and broadening that so much. And obviously the $399 selling point of the PS4 was huge at the beginning of last gen, or of this gen, soon to be last gen, which is crazy to think about. And I think this could very easily, maybe not this holiday, but maybe by next holiday or throughout the next year, be that as well. So
I'm gonna say something stupid,
sure.
But like, it's because it's 100% not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
But what if the PlayStation 5 regular edition was $399
and
then
like all digital was $299?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool. I'd be excited for that. One, because obviously that's such a great value, but two, that would put things would be head to head in a way I think they just have never been.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. Not 360 PS3, not Xbox One PS4. So
yeah, that's like saying like, oh, okay, now console war shit is bullshit, but like
but now like, it's real.
Now we're really going at it type of thing.
Especially if like Nintendo is possibly looking to put out a 4K Switch, which not possibly. It sounds like they are absolutely going to next year, and that might come in at like a $349 price point. We might see like this gradation of price point in a very interesting way across all three platforms. So I don't know, but yeah, Series S. Nabishin, I didn't ask. Did you think that this was still going to be a thing, or were you in a similar camp of thinking that it maybe was not going to be at launch? Or
the Lockhart?
Yeah.
I still thought it was a thing. Like it kept getting brought up enough about it that I felt like it was just going to happen. And like I wouldn't see why you wouldn't. Or maybe you're right. Maybe they would have put like. Yeah, no. I think they probably would have done it at the same time, kind of similar like the arcade edition and like the regular version of the 360. So
I always forget about that shit because I was like not in it back then. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they also like announced there will be expandable storage for Xbox Series S and
A
Series
little pricey.
X. Yeah, no pricing. It will be expensive.
I think it's out there.
Oh,
I
is
think
it?
it's like $180, maybe $200
For a terabyte or
for a terabyte. Yeah, because it's proprietary.
yeah, but it's also like that same like chip kind of hard drive that we were talking about last week, which is super fucking expensive on its own. So comparatively, there will be but it's good. It's got that speedy storage. So
Just to put it out there, because like we talked about this on the phone, or texting each other, but like you're still interested in getting an X 100%, right? You know, you're considering getting a PC.
Even in spite of the PC, especially like with the idea of like there's this payment plan option, like that super appeals to me just because like I'm very comfortable paying for stuff that way. But like we talked a little bit about it, but this made me feel way better about like leaning toward the X because it's like, okay, this is like a dedicated 4K machine. This feels more like that now. Because like this whole time we've been leading into this, I've been still thinking like, yeah, native 4K, I'm sure it'll still be upscaled. And you know, we don't know what the PlayStation is this, but this was the first time I maybe started to believe that the Series X could output like a significant 4K image. And listen, y'all haven't seen this TV, but fucking it will change your life. And I'm excited to have something that really takes advantage of that. So, and they're talking about Dolby Vision, not necessarily out the gate, but Dolby Vision is like possibly even better than HDR10 HDR, and I mean that could just make HDR even better for the games that support it. So, PlayStation announced this morning at 6:00 a.m. via a tweet, literally as soon as they could today, there will be a PlayStation event next Wednesday, September 16th, and it will presumably be when we finally know the release date and cost of the PlayStation 5.
Interesting that like if the Xbox thing did get leaked, it's supposed to be that week.
It was supposed to be that week as well.
So
we'll loop around to this when we get to bets. But rumors that there could be a big surprise there. We really don't know. It's just a PlayStation press event on Wednesday at what? 10 a.m.
Fancy a bet?
What'd you say, Tony?
Would anyone fancy a side bet?
What's the side bet? It might be this week's bet.
How many?
How many Gokus?
How many Gokus will be at the PlayStation event?
No. Okay, so side bet. I will bet any one of you who is willing to take me up on it that when PlayStation announces its release date and price, the price for the base model will match the price that was announced for the Xbox base model. Okay.
So the all digital PS5 will be $299, just like the Xbox Series S.
Yeah.
Damn. What are the stakes?
You guys can decide what you think.
I can't do a fucking game. I can't play another goddamn game for someone, so I do want to take this bet.
Who's gonna win?
Cheers. Somewhat.
Yeah. I've learned a little bit. Unless it's like a game I'm going to play already, but to be fair, going back to Metal Gear Solid 5 took me a while, but it was worth it. That was a very educational, great time I had with it. What are good stakes for you, Tony?
I'll do anything.
Literal stakes.
Okay, the loser has to put a video on Twitter of them saying the ABCs backwards while eating ice cream.
See on Twitter.
I know, but you have Twitter. You like tweets. You have access to it. Just record the video for me, and I'll put it on my Twitter if you lose.
Deal.
All right. I gotta write this down before I fucking forget. To be fair, this is the only side bet I've taken in 2020 now, but shit, I'm getting better. Side bet. So if the PS4 is more expensive than the baseline Xbox, PS5, excuse me, I win. If they are the exact same price, Tony wins. If
We're-
Next game price, give or take like $19 or whatever, because they do that
$20,
shit.
okay, I'll allow a wiggle room of $20.
We're talking about the Series X and
Series S.
5?
So the baseline PS5, the digital only version of PS5, which assumedly will be the cheaper one, will be the same
I can't
cost.
imagine that a disc drive lowers the price.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. It would be the same. Will be $299 or at most $319.
Little do people know when they get it, it's disc drive only.
Yeah, it's just a disc drive. it's just a 4K Blu-ray drive.
It's got an Ethernet port, but no, you can't
Yeah,
download
you can't download anything. It doesn't have a hard drive. What are you talking about?
I just realized that we're gonna have an issue in the future of our lives, talking about the Series X and like our phones going off if you have an Apple phone.
Oh yeah.
That literally. Just
Although
happened to me.
I've been saying Series a whole bunch with my phone out in front of me, and it hasn't caught me at all.
Okay.
But maybe my phone just sucks. Who knows? The base PS5 cost will be.
I mean, I never have Siri on it in the first place, so
Yeah, that's how
I
you
have
win.
an iPhone. So
Turn off Siri. Will be the same as.
I feel attacked.
I'm just kidding. Xbox Series S. And then, if it's not, Alex wins. Or if it's more, Alex wins. If it's less, nobody wins. And then loser has to eat ice cream and sing. Well, I'll just say and say ABCs backwards.
Yo, where are we at with this fucking fantasy league? Because no games came out this year.
Yeah, all games were canceled, as it turned out.
I would
Yeah.
look right now.
Yeah, you want to do a fantasy league update?
Sure.
The only other news story was the Ubisoft Forward event. Not a lot of cool stuff from that, except how stoked were you now? They're bringing Scott Pilgrim back. Did you ever think this was going to happen? I thought this game was gone forever.
I expected it to happen. Like the Twitter hubbub was talking about it for like almost months now.
Really? Okay, I had missed it up until the day I saw the leak of that
well,
day.
before they were talking about it happening, did you ever think it was going to happen?
I thought this was just a game that was going to get lost to history. That's all. I'm excited that it's not. So it's the
Like it's weirdly like the poster child of like D-list games. Like I don't really know why, but like people just like always bring that one up. I was like, I can't buy this game anymore. Blah 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 blah. But like they brought back DuckTales recently, so like
Sure.
I don't know. Like I guess because I still have it and I still have my PS3, so like I never really thought about it. Like really coming back to like modern consoles, and like even though they are bringing it back, like they're literally doing nothing to it. So like hopefully the online is better this time.
Yeah.
So the online came in like very last minute, so like I don't know how good that's gonna be. So it probably won't be that great, honestly. But like yeah, I'm happy that it's back. I'll play that entire game again.
Yeah, to be clear, I said like I had never played it. I've obviously played a little bit of it. I've never finished that. Like I feel like I've played the first level of that game like 10 times, and I don't think I've ever really seen anything past it. And it's like a pretty meaty game, from what I understand. It's like the longest beat 'em up that exists, I believe, from what I've heard. I don't know anyone that's longer, but it also is like full of secrets and stuff, right?
That Final Fantasy beat 'em up game.
Oh yeah. You know
That
what?
no one knows.
You know what? Yeah, actually, that's the one. It's that, and then Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, I've never really seen any of like the later stuff in that game, but I've always seen like little videos or screens from it, and it's like, man, this pixel art is so dope. Like all the later bosses and stuff, but I've never gotten to them. So, there's a remake of Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time that looks like a porno game. It's coming out January 21st. I'm very excited about that as well. I never played the remaster.
The number 51 of top 50 games.
It's a great game. And I haven't played it in forever, but I remember liking it a lot. Gods and Monsters got renamed to Immortals Phoenix Rising. Phoenix spelled F-E-N. This is stupid Y-X. And that comes out on December 4th, and it looks great. I'm into it. And then they announced a game called Riders Republic that I'm not into and have nothing else to say about. What's the Fantasy League update?
I posted the link. I was about to say, what was I supposed to say? Oh, is next year going to be the year of Breath of the Wild?
of
we
like
have
a bunch of Breath of the Wild likes.
Yeah, we have anime Breath for a while next year.
No, Genshin Impact is this month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the 28th. It's the day before Spelunky, I believe. So.
Oh,
Yeah, on PC, yeah. Which I'm excited about. I've played Genshin Impact. That game's cool. It is very Breath of the Wild, but it's also like super anime and kind of like a little bit of like traditional like magic, like skill-based RPG stuff, which is cool. And then so not Gods and Monsters, excuse me, Immortals Phoenix Rising is also this year. So maybe 2020 is the year of the Breath of the Wild. Like
every time I hear that title, I think of Phoenix Wright like almost immediately.
Yeah, me too. Which is also a good name, and Gods and Monsters is a simple and good name, and Immortals Phoenix Rising isn't. What's the Fantasy League update?
I'm still currently in the league with 84.
Okay.
You are at a solid 50.
Oh wow! What got me up?
Paper Mario got you 8 points. Microsoft Flight Simulator got you 24 points.
Fuck
24
yeah!
points. Yeah.
That's smart. That was a good pickup on my part.
Last of Us got you 26, and Resident Evil 3 got you 9.
Spelunky 2 is about to get me 30 points. I tell you what. Believe in that 10.
Yeah.
Tony still got fucked by World of Warcraft, of course.
I forgot that game even existed this year.
Yeah,
also,
as did everyone.
it's okay. I mean, it could have been really good, but they just, they did some stupid shit.
You did get. I forgot you got Persona 5 though. Tony.
Yeah, like take comments that you got the top rated game of the year
and our game of the year again. It's 2 years, 2017 and 2020. Man, who knew it could knock it out so easily? So and Neo 2. Yeah, you gotta go. You're gonna clean out with Cyberpunk, Tony.
September.
Yeah. Scott though, I would say Scott has the most consistent board. Let's say. He got Animal Crossing 20 easy points, Doom Eternal 19 points, Ori 20 easy points, and Ghost of Tsushima another 15. Although it sounds like Bravely Default 2 might get delayed till 2021, which is a bummer.
Happened to one of mine too.
I forgot about this Binding of Isaac Repentance. I don't know when or if that's coming out. But yeah.
Y'all can still add games, by the way.
I know. I've added a couple, to be fair. Maybe I just added Paper Mario.
I think it was just Paper Mario.
Yeah, but I mean, Hollow Knight Silk Song's probably not coming out. That could shadow drop any day. Elden Ring's not coming out this year. God damn it.
How's that game not been shown off again? Man.
I know. I just want to know what the game is like. Tales of Arise got pushed.
Microsoft is at TGS this year. It might be there.
Oh, Elden Ring? That's true. Yeah, it might be. But that's still not this year, which is a bummer.
No.
God, that would be such a cool launch game, though. Oh, man. Namashi, you got Miles Morales and the Demon's Souls remake? Oh, yeah. Well, fuck me, I guess. Cool. I feel like we're doing all right. Scott's got 64. Tony's got 10. I've got 50. Namashin's got 84. So 20-point lead. That's not bad. That's it for news. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can tweet your questions at IrrationalPod with the hashtag IPQ. You can leave us a voicemail at 5-404-590-1337. Don't know where that 5 came from. And send us an email, mailsack at irrationalpatch.com. Some other stuff on a quick outro here. You can follow the show on Twitter at IrrationalPod. That's when we talk about when we're live, when we're doing streams, when you'll be able to see me doing Spelunky stuff, when stuff goes up on the website, new viewpoints, the whole 9 yards. Follow me and Nabishin on Twitter. I am Alfighter27. Nabishin's NABESHIN186. See our video stuff. It's just on Twitch and YouTube. Look for Irrational Passions. Written review us wherever you listen, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Google Play or Stitcher, whatever you prefer. And for everything else, Irrational Passions. IrrationalPassions.com is the place to be. We've reached the end of the show. It's time for bets. Now, for this week's bet, we've got the bet and a little special bonus point just for freebies. And the bonus point, if you get it wrong, you don't lose the bet. It's just a little bonus, a little on the side. This week's bet: when will the PlayStation 5 come out? Presumably, this time next week we will know. There is a very dark timeline in which we do not know. And you know what? If we get there, we'll embrace the chaos. But for now, we'll just do the main bet, and then we'll come back for the little bonus. I'm going to say...
13.
Yeah, this is the day you've been saying forever. November 13th. Which was your Xbox Series X guess, and you were right on the week. It was just they were coming out on Tuesday for whatever reason. I'm going to say Friday, November 6th, which is the week before. Scott? When do you think the PlayStation 5 will come out? Do you want me to pull up a calendar for you?
I don't know. Kind of have my head in the sand for all these. So I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe end of November, November 29th.
November 29th is Sunday. Do you want to say the 27th, which is Black Friday?
It's more likely to come out on the Monday after or the Friday before.
I agree. Do you want to say November 20th?
Probably, yeah, 20th.
Okay. Tony?
October 30th.
Nice. I almost did an October bet. So whoever's closest wins. Okay, so for the bonus, rumor on the street is that Sony's got one last big surprise that they're going to announce next week. Some people are saying it's Scott. Some people are saying it's Final Fantasy 16. Some people are saying it's a game that we haven't heard of. Some people are saying it's Elden Ring.
I have a good answer for this one.
That's probably wrong.
Your mom.
Oops. Boo!
I don't.
What is the big surprise? Well, you want to go first, Tony?
Sure. Okay, so you know how when the PS5 design was originally announced,
Yeah.
people made it into an anime
Yeah.
lady?
Yeah.
I think that Sony has turned
What?
that anime into a VTuber.
Oh my god.
That's the surprise.
Me that I didn't see that.
I'll find it for you.
You never saw that?
I never saw.
There's some really good one. To be fair, Hyperdimension Neptunia was going to do it for him anyway, so it was just who got there first. Scott, do you have any guess as to what the big surprise is?
Nope.
Okay, no guess. Nabishin?
No surprise.
No surprise. Got it.
I think it's gonna be a game that won't come out for 5 years. So probably God of War 2. Just enough.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's enough to get people excited for your system, look forward to the system, and have it and just have it be there. Something that carry on the stick forever.
I'm going to say it's a new Naughty Dog IP. I know that's a little nebulous, but it's specific enough that I think it counts. But I think, come out with your prestige studio, be like, yeah, we're already in pre-production on this fucking game or whatever. Something like that. And I think it's new IP. I think it's not Uncharted or The Last of Us, so. Or Jack and Daxter. Last week's bets. Yeah? What you got?
No, I'm not. I don't want to be contentious of what you're just saying.
No, I want to. Now you have to be.
No, because my thinking at least is more of especially how remakes are fucking tearing a new asshole in the industry right now as far as what people actually want with Tony Hawk and Resident Evil 2, even Final Fantasy 7 remake in a way, sort of kind of I think they really need something super familiar to actually get people to get to their system, because if you're looking at Microsoft, all they're doing is new shit as far as the stuff they have coming down the pipeline and stuff like that. But
sure,
I don't know if people are as stellar as that. It's something Miles Morales, the same thing but different.
I guess I just think they already have that. I think they've got Ratchet and Clank, they've got Miles Morales, and I think it's very obvious that Insomniac's working on the next major Spider-Man, and Sony Santa Monica is working on God of War. I think saying that they're making either of those games, to me, is less exciting than saying also Naughty Dog is making something new for this system in the same way that they have done before that will blow you away.
I don't disagree with you. That is less exciting, but like I think that's what people want. It's kind of like Metroid Prime 4. Like, not really saying like, oh, of course we're gonna make it because we didn't know that, but like it's kind of like a thing where it's like the acknowledgement of it, that is being made, it gets you hyped up for.
Sure, that's fair. I don't know. I guess like that, for very obvious reasons, doesn't appeal to me, and that's
exactly
where I'm coming from. But I think both are exciting. So
yeah, 100%.
Whoever wins, we lose. No. Last week's bets. How long will the credits for episode 3 of Tell Me Why be? I said 2 minutes. Nomshin said 4 minutes, 33 seconds. Scott said 10 minutes. Tony said 1 minute. It is 7 minutes and 7 seconds. Very normal credits. We were very worried that they would be weird, but they were very normal. Which means Nomshin won again.
Very nice.
Wait. Yes, Nomshin won. I was like, who's closer, Scott or Nomshin? Nomshin was at 33 seconds. You actually won by that, so it paid off.
What exactly did I say?
You said 4 minutes, 33 seconds. Scott said 10 minutes. So it was almost exactly in the middle, but you had the 33-second nudge. Brings the totals. I'm still killing it with 3 points. Nomshin is now in the lead with 11 points. He was in the lead before. I don't know why I said now. Scott still has 7 points. Tony still has 9 points. Good run, boys. That's it. That's the show. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out, for listening, for watching along. Thank you to Danny Wiesner for our opening music of 2-player co-op and our closing music of The World is Saved, respectively. We love you all very much. I hope you all are being safe out there, staying posy. I know the doctors are saying it's about to get terrible again.
Staying posy?
Staying posy, as opposed to staying positive.
That's a new thing?
I've been saying this for weeks at the end of the show.
Okay.
Tee-hee. Stay posy, tee-hee.
Get up and get your glizzy.
Listen, I go so fast, with these teens. Just so they can understand me. It's probably going to be terrible if you live in the United States, and if you live in other countries that are allowed to have fun again. Thank you for your goodness and service. We love you all, though, very much. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Nabishin, for joining me as always. I love you, boys. Big hugs all the way around. Just know this is the last time you'll hear from me in a pre-Spelunky world. In exactly 3 days, I will be ruined all over again, just like I was in 2012. I remember that first podcast we did after I played Spelunky for the first time. I was like, you guys, this game. I don't know why you guys aren't thinking about it right now, because I am.
I got Path of Exile's next league starts in 5 days, 19 hours, 12 seconds.
It's going to be a good show next week. That's how you know.
And now people can reverse triangulate when exactly we record this shit.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not like it's live or anything.
It's not like it's live or anything. It's fine.
So I don't know where I got a new mic. I guess you guys didn't know that.
Listen. You brought this up off mic. Doesn't count. Off mic on the new mic. So thank you all very much for listening. Anyway, that's it. Thank you, boys, for hanging out with me for an hour and a half. As always, love you, boys. Play your games, everyone. Stay rational. We will talk to you all next week.
Titles. So we I don't understand that last one. I feel like it's not finished. We got Anime Girls Explain Pearl Harbor. Breaking Too Hard. Nice shot. And PS5 Chan.
But it has to be split up like that. PS5 Chan. Anime Girls Explain Pearl Harbor is probably... maybe it's not too hot for TV. Who knows? It's really funny, though.
It's a good video.
I believe you. You don't have to show me. Striking Too Hard. What was that from?
Talking about Mario Strikers, and I think you literally said that.
Listen, dude, it's just a blur, all right? I'm thinking about who's talking next. I'm never thinking about what I'm saying. It's probably a problem. Hey, Tony, if you're busy tomorrow, does that mean we're not going to be able to play games tomorrow?
Depends on when you want to play them, because I don't know how long it's going to take to do all the shit I have to do, but it's just like early afternoon that I'm doing it.
Okay. Yeah, if you're too tired or anything, just let us know. But yeah, I guess if you free
I
up,
mean,
text us.
I'm probably not building anything tomorrow, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Good. I like Nice Shot just because it makes me think of that moment. It's very funny.
Yeah, here's what you need to do. You just need to like have Scott say it and then loop it like 15 times before the show starts.
Yes. 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 What do you like, Scott?
I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I'm trying to find the.
Oh, the dog.
Yeah.
I can.
I'll just list them for you again, okay? So we have Anime Girls Explain Pearl Harbor, Striking Too Hard, Nice Shot, and PS5 Chan.
Nice shot, easily.
I'm cool.
Option.
That's fine.
Tony, Scott, you guys want to say the? It's 481.
Sure. You are listening to the Irrational Passions Podcast, episode 481.
Nice shot. Now you gotta loop it.
You want to give me like a couple other takes of that,
Why?
just so I can have like different versions of it looping all around.
No.
Just the
You
same.
gotta do
Okay.
The same one.
Okay, I just. Thank you all.
But the thing that you change is the interval in what I say.
Okay, I can work with that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.